What is up, Chaos Nation? Big Rob here, Chaos Nutrition, coming to you from the Valley of the Sun, where it's overcast this morning, about 63 degrees. And we're excited for a great day because why? We're upright, got a heartbeat, so that means we got a chance to make it better, make it right, do good things, accomplish some goals. Topic of discussion, man, my response video right here to liverkings' confession that he has lied. And hey, let's just jump into it, shall we? So after someone in his camp must have heard my message when I said he's got to get out in front of this thing, he put out a video, and it was, scripted for the most part. He tried to blame his usage of drugs on the fact that he suffers from low self-esteem and that he needed to take these things to get better. Now, he didn't say that in his email, though, right? So let's hold the feet to the fire here, there, Short Mac. You didn't mention that to your trainer that you were depressed. You didn't mention that to a doctor. You went straight to where you went. You said you wanted 1 million followers, yada yada, all this other stuff. This is where you wanted to be. Not once did you mention anything about depression. Not once did you mention the global society of people that are committing, these things towards themselves on a daily basis and attempting them. But you sure used it in your video to pull at the heartstrings of people that are confused, that don't pay attention, that might have a little heart for you. Really, the truth is, man, like Kenny K.O. said, like I've said, like many others have said, you would have never came clean, man. And you still really haven't came clean. If you weren't exposed. You would have kept going on with this. You would have kept making your money. And, most people probably would. That's if you've got no integrity in your body. Now, yes, you were rich before. That's awesome. You're not rich in your heart. So where are you rich at? In your pockets. You don't get to take that when you leave. So your integrity is being checked consistently. All right? Your handlers, your people that are running your PR, just like Kenny K.O. said, garbage. Not even going to hold any punches. Just going to be honest with you. You might want to take a little play out of Rich Piana's playbook, because you're not even a tenth of the man that guy was. All right? He came out. He let the record straight. People hated him for it. I'm talking people in the industry hated him for it because he told the truth. Because he finally said, listen, you can't win unless you're on this. You can't do certain things unless you're on this, or know this person or that person. And they hated him for it. They hated his stardom. They hated what he did. Now, he reached out and touched millions of people very easily, and he did this years ago, way before your time. You could have actually watched some of his videos and taken a lesson, and you still can. So why don't you go over, check out Rich Piana, one day you may, and take a few lessons out of his playbook and see if you can resurrect something out of your tarnished career. Although you're still rich, you just don't know how to deal with the fame. Whatever, bro. Also, I'd like to know which clinic you're going to that's going to provide you with these kind of, and maybe he's referring to the steroid doses, because those are in line with kind of like a TRT. But I don't think $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 a month in HGH is anything that a doctor is going to prescribe. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, hell, things are pretty wild in 2022, so it is possible, I guess. And so that leads me into the next part. Liver King, don't try to come out here and say that you're going to promote HRT and TRT. Okay? Ain't going to work. Because we're going to blow the lid off that right now by telling you this. You're not going to cling to that by saying it's ancestral, that you said optimal test levels. No. There's been many have come before you that have already worn that wagon out. You're done. You can't promote it, okay? We're not going to allow you to do that. So you can go ahead and keep your bull, dick, and balls, and you can figure out different ways for, to eat testicles and all that stuff. I guess real men will just continue eating pussy and drinking beer and have a good life. And furthermore, not to diminish the fact that you might be depressed, but I'm telling you, it's not going to be quelled by the opposite end of a needle. You're going to actually have to go and talk to counselors and nurses and doctors and get better with meds that are prescribed. You might even have to go through counseling. I don't know what's bothering you. Might be your height. I don't know. It's possible. I don't want to pick on you too much, man, but what I'm trying to tell you is, if you're saying that the reason why you took all this to get ahead in life was because you were depressed and you felt like you were, in need of something to boost your morale and who you were, bro, really? How about all the wrong way? I mean, it wasn't even believable in your story. So you didn't shed a tear. You didn't even talk about any of that. You didn't come across genuine, in my opinion. I would have probably wore a t-shirt for once, showing off a physique that you stole. Again, I'm going to stand by my words of my previous videos. I'm glad Kenny KO came out and stood with me there. Your stomach, your abs, they're etched. I'm sorry, bud. You've had gladiator surgery. You don't want to admit to it. That's fine. You're really not admitting to much anyways. I'm telling you, the whole conversation, your abs didn't move. So, here we go again, right? There's been others before you that have had implants. There's been others before you that have tried all kinds of things to get bigger and to look like a freak show. And they were successful in doing so. And they didn't admit to it. They just said, that their steroid protocol caused it. So to some degree, they were kind of wrong too, but they weren't really outed. A lot of people knew. But in your case, man, you're living in a different day and age. You really couldn't have thought that this was going to last this long. I'm surprised it did. Like I said, my channels are pretty small. My reach, I'm a nobody, man. I'm just out here trying to do the right thing and put out good supplements to people. So my reach isn't that incredible, like a Kenny KO and all these other guys, like a John Bravo. But the message is clear. We're all tired of the gimmick, all right? You came out wrong. Although you came out strong, you might have a great message with it. Some of it might be true. I mean, we do want more alpha men. We don't want beta cuck men. But I don't think you're going to do it on the end of a spoon eating raw testicles. I know people like Cali Muscle that eat ramen noodle soup, were in prison and came out jacked. Explain that one. So, all right, guys, what's it going to be, right? Is it going to be prison food, coming out looking jacked with no steroids? Or is it going to be, living a large life with thousands of dollars a month being put in your veins? And is that your claim to fame too? So, I don't know, right? There's all kinds of ways to getting huge and getting bigger. It's just which avenue you're going to take. Like I said, your sponsors and all the people were probably the reason why you didn't want to come out in the beginning. And until you were outed, you weren't going to. In some respects, I don't blame you, because when you've gone that far, that long of lying, it's just easier to keep the lie going until someone exposes you. And then you can just hope that, the people aren't paying attention, like our election and everything else, and they just kind of say, well, that's fine. I mean, look, he admitted to it. I see a lot of people in the comment section. They're like, oh, it's fine. Thanks for admitting it, man. We can move on. Bro, I guess that's your audience. A bunch of dumbed down sheep that, if they're told to take a vaccine, they will. If they're told to take a shot, they will. If they're told to, take a blue pill, they will. That's your audience, man. That's awesome, right? I guess that's what your audience is, and I guess you're helping millions of people from depression. I don't see it. I don't see where you've helped anybody in that regard. But I'd like to see you provide some numbers where all the things that you've been doing are helping out millions of people. I think what you did was you defrauded them, and you took their money, and you lied about a lot of things. And like I said, your video wasn't good enough, didn't pass the litmus test. But your camp and the people that bow down to you and people that you bow down to are all happy about it, because you at least put something out, right? It'll stick, something will happen. But we'll just pray for the worst, pray for the best and hope it doesn't get worse. So that's kind of, the mentality of 2022 and the beta cuck universe. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I think you need more TRT. I think you need a higher dose. You could probably benefit from it and kind of wean yourself off the HGH. So, or just keep up with it. I mean, it doesn't have any negative side effects, does it? Let's not talk about that and how maybe the stuff you were taking could hurt people. You didn't put out a disclaimer saying if you're, you probably shouldn't be taking this without the consultation of a doctor. No, you didn't say any of that. You went full bore, man. You just don't care. So this video has gone on long enough. I've got things to do. I've got things to move on to. Are we done with Liver King? No, we're not. We're going to make sure that Liver King fades away like a fart in the wind, like I said before. Am I going to be on him every day like I am? No. But right now the fallout is the fallout, and this is what is expected. Am I a perfect person? Not at all. But then again, if you were to ask me what I do, what I think is right and wrong, I'm going to give you a straight cut answer. There's not going to be any, tiptoeing through the tulips and bullshitting around the bushes. It's just going to be plain and dry, and you're not even going to enjoy it because it's just going to be right to the point and direct. Like I said, there's a guy that came before you, bro, and his name was Rich Piana. Again, take a play out of his playbook, and hopefully you can do better, with your situation. So on that note, guys, hope you're out there doing whatever the fuck it takes to reach your goals, staying within the limits, doing the right thing as much as possible, and definitely not putting yourself in a position like the Liver King, and you're just out there doing the right thing. And you know what? It takes time to get to the top. If you're asking to get all the riches of the world in a year, this is the type of shit that happens. The fallout is real. So on that note, guys, stay ride or die for yours, and keep getting out there, keep doing whatever it takes to be successful. But then again, like I said, just do it within the confines of what's right, and don't put yourself in a predicament to find yourself on the wrong side, because that's a long side to come back on. I think you're seeing it from Liver King himself. So on that note, guys, till next time, I'm out.